Hello and welcome to Mags and Tillison. Okay, one of the details you guys should be looking at if you own one of these old Ironhead Sportsters is that if you take a look at the still picture that I have here, is the kickstand pin. Now, if you look at the still picture, you can see that the kickstand pin has kind of got jacked up inside the kickstand bracket. And with a lot of use, these kickstand pins, they tend to rise up. Now I have about 12 thousandths gap right between the kickstand and the bottom of my primary case, and that's a dangerous kind of situation. And this is the reason why that I always say you got to check some of these little details from time to time, because we do put a lot of pressure on these kickstands, and this kickstand pin does tend to rise up. So it's one of the little things that we have to check. You know, it may be a small thing, but it can cause a lot of damage if it does press up against your crankcase right here. You can see I have the kickstand and I have the motorcycle on a jack right now, and I'm moving the kickstand up and down. You can see that that kickstand pin is extremely close to the bottom of my primary case right here. And you can imagine if you're kickstarting this motorcycle and the kickstand was on the ground and you had all the weight on it and you began to kickstart the motorcycle, you could see that pin going right up into your primary case and putting a hole in it. Here I have a piece of cardboard. It's about 12 thousandths thick, and as I said, the bike's on a lift. It's on a jack. It's not even on the ground, and there's about 12 thousandths right between that piece of cardboard and the bottom of my primary case. So this is a kind of a dangerous type of situation, and you guys have to keep an eye on these kickstand pins to make sure they're locked down properly. Again, you see the bike's on a lift, and I'm moving the kickstand up and down. It's got a lot of play to it, and it's just about hitting the bottom of my primary case. And so these are one of the things you guys have to watch out for, and I thought I'd bring this up. It looks kind of scary, doesn't it? You see that black hardened pin just about touching underneath my primary case right here, and there's no weight on this kickstand. You know, it's on a jack. So if you're straddling the motorcycle and you start kicking it, and you're putting all your weight on this kickstand, it's a dangerous type of situation. Now, this is the reason why I put a center stand on my bike. In case I broke my kickstand off, at least I have this if I'm on the road. And it's not made actually to kickstart your bike with, but if you're in a pinch, it's nice to have. And at least it'll get you home in case you break off a kickstand, because it's happened to me before. Now let's take a close look at the official Harley-Davidson manual here. And look at part number 27 here. That's your kickstand bracket. And the hole in that kickstand bracket is the problem that I have. Okay, it's been wallowed out from all the years of the kickstand being on there, and you're kickstarting the motorcycle, all the pressure on it. And it's number 27, 548-56. That's your bracket, your kickstand bracket. Number 27. So that's my issue, really. That's what's going on. And then you have that kickstand pin right here, number 15. That's a hardened pin, I think. And throughout the years, that pin has been going back and forth in that kickstand bracket hole, and has been wallowing that out. And that's part number 590-53. That's your kickstand pin. Right there. Now if you look at part number 22, I'm going to be making something like that. It's a brass sleeve that I'm going to press into the bottom of that hole right there in that kickstand bracket. So I'm going to try to fix that so it's not so loose on my kickstand pin. So I'll just get a little brass sleeve and I'll just make one and just press it right up in there, and that's going to take up all that slop in the kickstand bracket here. so this kickstand pin number 15 is not going to be so sloppy inside the bore of that kickstand bracket. Now here's a picture of a early Ironhead Sportster frame. As you can see, it doesn't have a stitch weld going from the frame up to the kickstand bracket. These are the early Sportster frames. And here's a picture of a later Ironhead Sportster frame, and you can see how they smartened up and they put a stitch weld from the frame to the kickstand bracket, which makes it a whole lot stronger. I don't know why they didn't do that on the early Sportsters, but it's a good idea. And here's another example of that. They have a butt weld coming from the frame all the way up to the kickstand bracket, which lends a lot of support to it. Now, if you guys noticed that in my previous videos, you always see me straddling the motorcycle when I kickstart it. Okay? And there's 3 reasons why that I do that. And I've been kickstarting bikes since I was about 13 years old, and I've always straddled the motorcycle when I kickstart it. There's about 3 reasons why I do it. And one of the reasons why I like to have my left foot planted on the ground while I'm kickstarting the motorcycle, just in case the kickstand snaps off, and then I'm able to catch the bike. Because you have it right by the handlebars and you're already sitting on the seat. And so if the kickstand snaps, well, then you've got the motorcycle so it doesn't fall on the left-hand side flat as a pancake. Now, I had that happen to me once before, and let me tell you, when these Sportsters fall down flat on their side, you're not going to believe how flat that they become on the ground. They're like a pancake. And even though it's not a heavy motorcycle, even a strong guy will have a difficult time trying to pick this bike up off the ground when it's flat as a pancake. And it's one of those type of things where it's not a fun situation, because most guys don't have a crash bar on these bikes, and they usually don't. And when these bikes go down, let me tell you, you'll never see a flatter motorcycle. They're just like a flat pancake right on the ground, and you just try to pick it up like that. It's not easy at all. And the second reason why I straddle the motorcycle, again, is that I want my left foot planted on the ground while I'm kickstarting it. So lots of times when you kickstart these bikes, and you have all your weight on that kickstart pedal, and you come down really hard, what if that ratchet doesn't really catch, and that ratchet slips, and you have all your power and weight coming down in that kickstart pedal, and that's when you get a serious case of Sportster knee, where your knee is going to snap in half, and you don't want that to happen. And that's the reason why I straddle the motorcycle, as I said, to put a lot of the weight on my left foot and it's planted on the ground. This way, if that ratchet does slip, that I don't have so much power and weight coming down on my knee. And so that's the reason why I like to straddle the motorcycle, okay? And also, again, and the third reason is I don't want that kickstand to snap off, and it does sometimes. It's a common thing. And you don't want to lose the motorcycle. This way, at least you have it right by the handlebars, and your left foot is planted on the ground. And if the kickstand does snap, at least you've got a really good chance where you're holding onto the handlebars and you're straddling the seat and your left foot's planted, that you're able to catch the bike. Okay, because as I said before, once these bikes go down, and it's happened to me before, these Sportsters, you're not going to believe how flat they lay on the ground. It's incredible. Even though you're a really strong, powerful guy, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get the bike off the ground like that. And most guys don't have a crash bar on these bikes, and they do lay flat, let me tell you. And one of the other reasons why that I straddle the motorcycle when I kickstart the bike is, again, I'm sitting on the seat and my left foot is planted on the ground what if you get a kickback? And I mean really hard kickback. Well, at least that all your weight is not on that kicker pedal, okay? And you have, your weight is basically you're sitting in the seat and your left foot is on the ground. And this way, when the kicker, if it kicks back on you, you don't have all your weight on it. And, but can you imagine, I see a lot of guys who actually kick it on the right-hand side. I don't know why they do it, but a lot of older guys are just like me, and they straddle the motorcycle, and, but a lot of guys that I've seen do kick it on the right-hand side. And what I've seen sometimes, these guys put their left knee on the seat, and they put their right foot on the kicker pedal, all right? And then they jump up in the air as high as they can, and their left foot, it goes vertical right over their head. And then they jump on the kicker pedal with all of their might and all of their weight. Now, what if that motorcycle kicked back on you really hard? Well, it's going to do a lot of damage to your knee, and you're going to regret that. And what if the kickstand snapped at the same time? It doesn't fare well, you know what I mean? Now, I see a lot of guys do it, and they kickstart from the right-hand side, and they do a real good job at it, and if it works, fine, if that's how you like to do it. But I'm just stating the reasons why that I like to straddle the motorcycle while I started. And I think it looks a lot better too when you're just straddling the bike. The main reason why I brought the topic up is not how it looks when you start it. It's just that, just for a safety reason, why you should straddle a bike, because of the kickbacks and because your kickstand may snap off and you have the handlebars so you don't lose the motorcycle, and for a dangerous kickback on your knee, so that's the reason why I thought I'd bring it up. But if you do kick it on the right side, that is up to you guys, and you can do anything you like as long as it works for you, and then that's a good thing. Now, I was looking through the Harley-Davidson parts catalog, and something that I never noticed before is that they offer 2 kickstands for the Sportsters here. You have a short kickstand and you have a special. It's got 1 inch more road clearance for the XLH, which I've never seen before. It's a different part number, from 1959 to 1966. So you're always learning something new about these old Sportsters here. So you have a long kickstand and you have a short kickstand. Actually, I'm looking at these 2-inch extended kickstands. These are aftermarket kickstands, and if you notice that I have a 2x4 underneath my kickstand all the time, and when the bike is parked, I have 2 2x4s, which brings it up to 3 inches, so the bike is standing more straight up, so all that weight is not on that kickstand. And I'm getting a little bit tired of doing that, actually, so I've been looking at some of these aftermarket 2-inch extended kickstands, so that's what I may go with. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching Max and Tillison, and I hope to see you guys next week. So until then, you guys take good care of yourselves.
Keon, truck off. Let's see what happens.